Good. So, good evening, everybody, and welcome to our Resitters Forum. It's usually a program we do after the release of the result, before the start of any new tuition. We will normally run what we call a Resitters Forum. It is for us to come together and look at some more strategies we will consider going into the next session. Is to improve on the outcomes of our preparation as we delve into the next session. I don't take it for granted because it is a very important session that helps to guide everybody to make the best of decisions in terms of preparation for the next diet. And thank you all for making the time. And a decision you have made to join this meeting is in the right direction. Is that okay? So I encourage you and I welcome you to this session. So as I always do, it's important to bring to you our itinerary for July 2025. So for the July 2025, we normally will have our tech training and syllabus overview. So we've just had that. So the whole of this week, we have been assisting with those who have already registered as students on our platform with some guidance on how to make use of technology, which I know most of you as Resitters may be familiar with. Is that okay? So that's what we've done so far in terms of our preparation for the July 2025 diet. And tomorrow evening, 30th of March, we shall have our opening night. And normally the aim of the opening night is to commence the session, having in place both continuing students as well as Resitters coming together to begin the session. So obviously, what it means is that tuition will begin almost immediately. That is from 31st of March. Obviously, this is a holiday. 31st of March is a holiday. 1st of March is also a holiday, but we will still run our lectures on those 2 days, obviously, because there will be no time to waste. So there will be a lecture on the 31st as well as the 1st of April, obviously. So tuition will start 31st of March. And for our Resitters program, which we normally call the Modular program, that will kick off from the 4th of April. So that is next week, Friday. We will immediately start with our Modular or the Resitters program, which is very much an important program, which we have crafted to assist Resitters with good revision. Now, going into this sitting also, we want to ensure that we are very, very much able to cover the syllabus in good time. So this time around, we have set a target for ourselves to finish all tuition as well as modular by 15th of June. Obviously, it means that our practice of ending lectures in the 3rd week is now changed. Our lectures will now end in the 2nd week of June, which is a departure from what we do in the past. Obviously, we would aim to finish the syllabus in good time so that everybody can have some time for revision. So we have 10 clear days for our revision program. And our revision program will start from the 25th of June. So from 25th of June, our intensive revision program would kick off. Then by 7th of July, exams will begin. So exams for July 2025 would kick off on the 7th of July. So kindly take note of these key timelines. We have already completed our tech training. Tomorrow we have opening night. Lecture starts on 31st of March, which is Monday, coming Monday. Modular starts from the 4th of April, which is our Resitters program. Tuition will end 2nd week in June. Our intensive revision program, which is normally called intervention, will begin from the 25th of June, and exams will begin on the 7th of July. So that is the timeline for everybody should study and understand and adjust appropriately. So that's for our program for the coming diet. So for those who have, I think this session is actually for Resitters. So I would quickly go to business by helping you to appreciate some strategies that you can advise, exactly, or devise to assist your revision. It's not easy for anybody to fail a paper. It's all just to help you know that, you know what, you have enough knowledge. All you need to do is to add some few knowledge in order to pass. You see, for professional exams, the aim of the exam is to challenge your reasoning on a particular subject matter. So most times, if you fail a paper, it doesn't mean that you don't have adequate knowledge of the subject matter. It is just to tell you that you have done so well, you need to add to what you've done already. So it means that you need to go a little bit extra in terms of a revision in order to be able to pass. And most times that is where students get agitated or get disappointed, especially when they fail a paper. It's not to say that you are all obviously a deadhead or you don't have any knowledge in your head regarding the subject. No, you have an understanding of issues to a certain extent. A failure of a subject means you have to just add up to it, what you already have, in order to get you to cross the 50 marks. So that is all there is. No need to overthink. And I always say that if you fail a paper and it's still taking you 3 days to recover, it means that you need help. Exactly. 3 days is enough to get yourself back in business. Exactly. You don't need to overstretch it. A failure of a paper doesn't mean that the world has come to an end. I failed a paper before. I can give you examples of me writing public sector twice before getting it. Financial reporting, I wrote it. I got it on the third attempt. Is that okay? But I'm here as a qualified accountant. There's nothing to show of that. It's the end that justifies the means. If you have qualified, that is the end of all matters. Is that okay? That is what is the end game of everything. So there's nothing involved there. You may have written it, failed as many times as possible, but once you are done, you are done. Nobody remembers how many times you've written the paper. And that is what you need to have a regard for. Exactly. A professional exam is not meritorious. It's not awarded. Exactly. You have to work for it. And working for it means that there will be a lot of demand placed on you. Self-discipline is very key in order to be able to pass these papers. Self-discipline, especially in the world where we are now, that so many things are taking our attention. Our mobile phones are already a distraction. Our work is already demanding. Family life, social life, we have to balance everything. And for professional qualification, the demands are even more peculiar. Exactly. So it makes or it requires a change. And if you don't start that change, you will not be happy. Exactly. Because you must make a mind or put it in your mind that, you know what, once I'm going to write a professional exam, I must make some changes to my lifestyle. The time you wake up will not be the same. Attending a social event will not be the normal. Is that okay? The way you approach things will have to change. So if you're writing a professional exam and your lifestyle hasn't changed, please, you will surely going to fail the paper. It's a verdict. I can tell you, anybody whose lifestyle hasn't changed when they have attempted a professional exam will surely not have a good outcome because it is a huge demand. It's not academic. It's not an award of a degree. It is a qualification. You have to work for it. You need to work for it. It's not something that will be bestowed on you. No, you need to work for it. By the time you are qualified, you will know and appreciate that you have worked for this. And it is earned. You have to earn it with a lot of effort. I believe it's clear. So those are things you must have in mind. I need to work for this. There's a demand I need to fulfill in order to achieve this qualification. If I have not made a change to my lifestyle, if I have not made a change to how I do things, this may not be in sight. Exactly. So these are very cardinal lessons you need to keep in mind. It doesn't matter whether you fail the paper or not. There's nothing to bother about. The stress is gone. It's now time to come back again and work afresh. Exactly. And that is where you may be feeling anxious, you may be feeling stressed up, but Charlie, the life goes on. Are we together? If a woman has a first child, with all that they go through, they still go for another. Are we together? So it doesn't mean that you feel that is all. No. Some women go as much as 10 times. They give birth to about 7 children, 6 children. The firstborn doesn't end it. That's the way they will cry when they are giving birth to the first child. You would think they will never go back again to get pregnant. But I can tell you, once they are done with the first child, they start thinking of the next one. It's as simple as that. That's how professional exam works. You give birth, you go in there, it didn't come out well, it doesn't end it there. You need to go back and go and work more harder than you ever had in the past. Exactly. And sometimes complacency sets in. People think, oh, I was able to get some 40 marks. So I think this time around, I can manage myself to get out of it. Is that you got the 40 because you were very serious. To get the 50, you have to be more than serious. And that means that you need to have a lot more done to cross the 50. So the effort you put in the last sitting, that got you 40, that got you 45. What it means is that that is for 40. You must do what you did last sitting and even increase it more. So that is where a lot of students get a disconnect. They get a mark, then they think that, okay, this time around, okay, I've got some knowledge already. I can just while away some time and do some few practice and get it. No, no. It means that your failure of the paper means the effort you've put in the last sitting, that effort must be put in again at the same pace with now an additional effort to get you to cross the mark. And that is one thing you shouldn't forget. Exactly. So I have some few things to share with you, some few strategies to share with you. Having spoken about what I'm expecting you to do, I'll give you some key strategies which are straightforward. One is to start early. Exactly. The time is always short. We are writing 3 times a year: March, July, November. The time is short. The time is short. As a lecturer, I have a lot of demand in order to finish the syllabus. It takes so much effort just to finish the syllabus. So if you, the student, don't start early, I'm just worried for you. So my advice is that start early. Whether you are resitting or you are writing a paper, early preparation gives you early good outcome. Exactly. So start early. That is the first advice I will give you. The second advice is consistency. Is that okay? You must be consistent. Exactly. It means that there are some students who, having failed the paper, will change tuition centers, go for another tuition center, go with another. They are all over the place. They even try to even go for 2 tuition at the same time. You are just worrying yourself. Exactly. You went for a lecture with a particular lecturer. Now, repeating that lecture again with that same lecturer helps you to appreciate issues and make it easy for you to ask questions on issues you haven't understood. So why do you have to now go and reinvent the wheel or start all over afresh with a whole new lecturer who is going to teach things differently? And that is where a lot of students' confusion starts, because they have been to lectures with several lecturers. They have moved from here, they've moved to here, they are all over the place. And that is where the confusion starts. So my advice always is that be consistent with whatever you are doing in terms of your tuition provider, in terms of the way you do your things. Is that okay? If you have done something that you think has assisted you in the last sitting, which you think is good, please repeat it. Repeat it, because once you repeat it, you can be able to secure perfection. I believe it's clear. Then another strategy I recommend is collaborations. Collaborations. Sometimes you can do this alone. To be frank, sometimes you cannot do this alone. There are certain issues that you may be glossing over, but a friend could just give you a light. So I always recommend that you come into teams, you form group discussions with people who have the same energy and willingness to take you to wherever you are going to. Because sometimes you may go into a team with people who may not be serious. With the advent of technology, you can do some group discussions on Zoom together. could be 30 minutes, it could be 1 hour. I knew of a group of students who qualified some 2 sittings ago, and they were doing meetings from 3:30 a.m. to 5:30 a.m. every day. That's it. They had a group discussion. So every day of the week, Monday to Friday, they were meeting from 3:30 a.m. to 5:30 a.m. consistently. The result showed their effort. I hope you are getting the point. So collaborations help people with the same like mind who are willing to pass, not people who are now looking for somebody to teach them. No, you must share responsibility. Everybody take a respective topic and come to the table to share, not to come and always take. And that is one thing that you should always be guided on. If you're in a group and no one, or there's somebody who is not sharing, please get rid of that person. Exactly. Everybody must come to share. Exactly. So that's for collaboration. The next thing I also recommend is to take advantage of technology. Technology is so good. I can tell you, if you make use of it, it can assist your preparation, especially for the videos we have. Even though I always say that lectures, or we know that lectures is once or twice a week, it doesn't end there. You can play back the lectures as many times as possible. That is the advantage you have over face-to-face lecture. The advantage of online over face-to-face is that the lecture is recorded. And that lecture being recorded, you have the opportunity to play back and play back and play back as many times as possible. That has been a game changer for a lot of people. Some of you just go to class after the end of the lecture, that's the end of the matter. No, no, no. You should engage. The lecture could be played back once or twice to get a perspective. When you are live in class, you may not get a perspective. Some of you, you are in class, there's a network problem. You have not been able to listen to some of the issues. There are distractions. Playing back the video can assist you. There are certain things you may not have gotten. The video helps you to close the gaps on all those issues. So take advantage of technology. That's how come our mobile application is built in such a way that you can download the video within the application and play back as many times as possible without the need for data. So that gives you an advantage. And I can tell you, it is a game changer for some of our students who have passed. And they've shared that testimony severally of how the playing back of the videos have assisted them. Exactly. There are some subjects also you may have to rely on audios. For example, if you are doing strategic case study, if you are doing advanced auditing, those papers that there are some aspect that requires reading. Sometimes you can read and read and read, it will stick. It's like that. Life is like that. I've also gone through that before. I've written exams severally. So the best is to engage the audios. You're listening to them whilst you are driving. You're listening to them whilst you are at a funeral. Recently, I was at a funeral at Wager, and a student came to me listening to my audio on corporate reporting, IFRS. He approached me. I was at the funeral for one of our lecturers whose dad passed away at Wager, right? So we went for the funeral. And this lecturer works at, what's the name, Deloitte. So a staff or a gentleman who knew this one of our lecturer or this particular lecturer approached me and said, "Sir, I'm listening to you now." What does that tell you? It tells you that even a social event, even though he is there physically, his mind is on the goal ahead. I want to pass the paper, so I'm listening to the audio. Exactly. So that is it. For some of you, immediately the lecture is ended, is for the next lecture. Your brain has switched away from the goal ahead of you. It's like your brain goes on hibernation. The next time there will be the brain will come up is when there's a notification on the page that we have lecture this evening. Before you wake up, oh, today there's lecture. No, the issues must be ringing in your mind. Exactly. There should be no day that you don't think about this qualification. As I said, it is demanding. It is demanding. It needs a lot of attention. It's like a young lady. If you don't give it attention, it won't mind you. Let's go for personal time management. Now, I've always said it that If you are writing professional exams, your lifestyle has to change. It's by force. You can't do anything about it. The way you had your life, these exams will take it from you. So you better get ready for it. And you cannot resist it. If your lifestyle hasn't changed, if you are not somebody who is now time conscious and disciplined in terms of how you use your time, then it means that this exam has not yet rubbed on you. The effect of this exam has not passed through you. If your time, the way you handle your time, the way you do things is still the same, no, then it means the exam has not passed through you. You are still the same way you are. No, this exam will change your time management. Exactly. It will affect the way you do things. You are so much chasing the time you have. It's like as if the 24 hours is not enough. You may even need 36 hours per day. You'll be chasing time because time is now valuable to you. Revision is so important because you need to catch up with some video that you have missed out, some lecture you couldn't watch. You need to go back and play the video. Your time is so precious to you that a friend will not call you and say that I'm going for a wedding. Can you accompany me? And you just say, I'll go with you. You tell the friend that, you know what, I have something better to do with my time. So if this exam goes through you, your time management will have to change. You have to make time, still time from less important things and commit it to this important agenda. Exactly. Then the next one is the effective learning approach. There are some of us also, we don't know how to learn. It's the truth. The way we learn is score zero. There's nothing that we are doing to improve on the learning approach we are adopting. Is that okay? We've done some webinar on that. I'll recommend you watch that video. I don't want to talk about it because time is far gone, but there are certain things I'll share briefly about jotting or taking of notes. If you are learning and you are not writing, you are worrying yourself. I repeat, if you are learning and you are not writing, you are worrying yourself. Because writing is the language of learning. The more you write, the more you remember. I repeat, the more you write, the more you remember. So that is one of the first way of learning. You learn by writing. You can be reading and think you remember. You forget. It won't happen. You have to write to remember. So it's one of the boldest secrets. And some of us also, how we input time in terms of learning. You cannot be learning for 1 hour straight. No, it doesn't work. You have to bring in breaks. Is that okay? So you can do, let's say, 30 minutes, take a break, 15 minutes, do another 30, take a 15 minutes break, and then do another 30, and that ends it. You can be learning for 4 hours. I'm not sure you are doing the best. Exactly. It's not about the time, it's about the quality of the remembrance. It's about the quality of the remembrance. That's why you need to start early. Because if you are going to do 1 hour, 30 minutes to learn a particular issue, it means that you need an extra 45 minutes for breaks. Because every 30 minutes, you need to take a 15 minutes break. Because the mind cannot have that attention. It depends on your age, though. But for some of you, you can do 1 hour straight and take a 15 minutes break, right? But there are some, as you are aging, your concentration level reduces. So you need to watch out for that. You can do 45 minutes, take your 15 minutes break, do another 45, take another 15 minutes break. But if you are very old or older, maybe older than me, you can do 30, take your 15 minutes, do another 30, take your 15 minutes. So at least 1.5 hours, but you are going to take 15 minutes break. Depending on your age, if you are very young, 1 hour, 15 minutes, 1 hour, 15 minutes, 1 hour, 15 minutes. Don't go beyond 3 hours. If you do more than 3 hours, you are worrying yourself. Exactly. So that is it. So these are some basic techniques I'll share with you when it comes to effective learning approach. And I'll share some videos with you that can help you because some of you need to change your approach to learning. Exactly. And this time around, I'll be emphasizing that in the modular class, the Resitters class especially, because some of you, your learning approach has to change. You cannot be using that approach you use for first degree. No, that first degree approach doesn't work here. Exactly. This one is more heavier. You have a lot of materials to assimilate within 2.5 months. You can use first degree approach or even masters. You can use those learning approach to come and tackle this particular paper. The demands are heavier. So your approach has to change. Exactly. Then one other thing I also share is to be involved in class. Your involvement in class can help. There are some people that they'll be part of lectures, they will never ask a question. They will never want to even be known. Yes, some people, it works for some people, but if you are somebody who your concentration easily goes off, try as much as possible to be in the front row. Exactly. Because in our online lectures, on my part especially, I allow students to ask questions. So I normally will nominate about 5 people to be the students who would ask questions. Exactly. That notwithstanding, others could ask questions, but normally I prefer some few people to drive the class. You should be in those people. If you know that your concentration level is not that sharp, put yourself in the front row with the expectation that I'll be putting a question across to you. You see, with that, it puts a pressure on you to follow through the beginning to the end of the class. Exactly. So be involved. Don't sit back. Don't be unconcerned because the lectures are online. So sometimes as you are listening to the lecture, there may be other distractions that could affect your concentration. So please be very mindful of that. Exactly. So that is it. Then the last thing is subject selection. Subject selection also is very, very much a challenge for the professional qualification because most students don't select the right subject. And it is from the word go. Once you don't get it right, there's going to be trouble. And there's a webinar I think I shared on that. If you don't have that webinar, try and check it out. It's a webinar that we did in the previous what do you call it period on how to select the subject. Is that okay? Because there's somebody now who has selected subjects that does not permit or the permutations are not right. So you need to check that out. Exactly. So going into this sitting, even if you are resitting a paper, check your subject combination. Check your subject combination. Make sure you are pairing the best. Make sure you are pairing all the best. Like for example, somebody will say, I have PSA left in level 2, and I'm supposed to write the final papers. Yes, when it comes to the final papers, the optimal combination for the final 4 papers, either you are pairing auditing and corporate reporting, or you are pairing advanced tax or strategic case study. That is the way to go. The reason is because when it comes to the final level, the 4 papers, the top tier papers are corporate reporting and strategic case study. Those are the most difficult papers. So if you decide to take advanced audit and advanced tax first, and you pass those 2 papers, you are obviously going to put a lot of pressure on yourself at the end, obviously making your passing very difficult. So it's best to take a difficult paper and a less difficult one. And the best combination, for example, corporate reporting, advanced audit. The best to combine those 2 papers is because the knowledge is needed across the 2 papers. Corporate reporting, advanced auditing, the knowledge is so much connected. Tax and case study could be your other option. Why not? Especially when you are done with those 2. So that at the end of the day, you have a very difficult paper in the case of strategic case study and advanced tax, which is obviously slightly above average. I believe it's clear. So you can do those combinations, and I can tell you it will really help you. So if you haven't watched our video on subject selection, I'll recommend that you engage it. It will really help you to know which papers you are pairing and obviously to know what to do. Because there are people who are writing strategic case study and corporate reporting for almost 4 years now. I'm telling you, they have been marking time with these 2 papers, corporate reporting, strategic case study, for almost, I know people are doing it for 3 years, 4 years. Why? Because their subject selection didn't work well. They've passed those average papers, that's auditing and tax, and they are now left with the 2 troublesome, the strategic case study and corporate reporting. And those 2 papers, if you don't work hard, you can't get it. It's the truth. If you don't work your ass, you can't get it. You need to sit down, put in a lot of effort to get those papers out. Exactly. So whenever students have those 2 papers to go, it becomes a trouble. Some people mark time for years because they have 2 difficult papers to finish the qualification. So be guided and know the subjects you are combining. Exactly. It can really, really assist your preparation. Exactly. So those are my few comments. I would want to share with you our program going into this sitting, which I'm very delighted to share with you. In terms of our modular program, let me just highlight that, do some quick, what do you call it? Yeah, so in terms of our modular, this is a program we have designed for Resitters, okay? Now, these programs gives you an opportunity to join weekly revisions. As you can see there, we do weekly revision. So for example, strategic case study, our weekly revision is 6 p.m. on Sundays. Corporate reporting, our weekly revision is Friday, 6 p.m. Auditing, Saturday, 6 p.m. Advanced tax, Monday, 6 p.m. Is that okay? Now, why this modular? We have crafted this program in a way that all these meetings would be purely to solve questions. Is that okay? Only to solve questions. And in addition to that, we normally will have or give you access to the previous sitting lecture videos for you to engage as much as possible. Exactly. And we normally would provide TA support if you need clarification. The videos will be available for you every week within the mobile application. So it's a weekly engagement. Every week, we meet to solve questions. And there are sometimes I normally, in my own case, would invite students on the modular program to join the regular tuition, because sometimes there are certain issues that we'll be doing in tuition. You just may have to join to remind yourself of some of those issues, because I cannot be sure that you are watching the videos of the March 2025. So sometimes I intentionally will invite you to join the regular class. I do that intentionally because it could be that the videos of the previous diet, you are not watching them. So I need to compulsorily put you in to force you to remind you of certain things which you haven't gone to revise. Is that clear? So it's a wonderful program. If you are a resitter, this is an option I'll recommend for you extensively. And normally, I always make a judgment in terms of who is the best to join this program. Now, if your mark you had in the last sitting is above 35, then you can join this program. Is that okay? If you have any mark below 35, I would advise you to go for the regular tuition. Is that okay? I would advise you to go for the regular tuition. Why am I saying that? Anything below 35, is that okay? It's a clear indication that you haven't grasped enough knowledge of the subject. Is that okay? Anything above 35 shows you have knowledge of the subject. You need revision. You need revision and practice of questions. Exactly. So have that humility. There are some students who don't or who have not done so well in the previous sitting and put themselves on the modular and begin to panic after some few sessions, because obviously we are solving questions and they cannot flow or they cannot contribute to the discussion, obviously because they have not grasped the knowledge of the subject before trying in for or before joining in for revision. Exactly. So my advice is that make sure that if you are joining the modular revision, you have a mark above 35. And those who have also or coming in from other tuition providers and wants to join this program, in your case, I would recommend that even if you are joining our modular, you should be somebody who has scored above 40. Is that okay? If you are joining our modular as a student who hasn't joined our tuition program, your mark I would recommend for which you can join this program is when you are in the 40s. Exactly. So please take note of that and be advised accordingly. Exactly. So that's for our modular program. I'm really excited to invite everybody to partake of it. The opportunities are endless. I can tell you, we'll solve as many questions as possible. Now, for students doing financial reporting, public sector, corporate reporting, and advanced audit, we always have an opportunity at ASPA. Now, every Wednesday of the week, we allow students on all these programs, public sector, financial reporting, advanced audit, corporate reporting, these 4 papers, we allow you to join our lectures on Wednesday. And what is that lecture about? That lecture is on IFRS. I'm the tutor for IFRS. I'm the competency lecturer for IFRS. So I make sure that my lecture is made available to every student on those streams. Because for public sector, you are on a death trap if you don't know your IFRS. You're already shooting yourself in the foot if you don't know IFRS, because most of the IPSAs are towing the line of IFRS. They are just improvement on or rehearse of the same IFRS we are already learning. So if your IPSAS is not strong, check it. Your foundation is not strong in IFRS. So we normally have that session for everybody. And students think sometimes out of whatever, they don't join and they always pay for it. Exactly. So make sure that you make time for that also. We have an IFRS lecture which runs for free for all students doing CR, okay, corporate reporting, advanced auditing, PSA, and financial reporting, and even audit and assurance. We bring everybody about 5 papers to teach IFRS together so that we can all learn it and learn it well. Because that's the foundation. If you are doing corporate reporting, advanced auditing, financial reporting, and PSA, and your IFRS is weak, you should know that is your problem while you are failing the paper. Because you cannot pass those papers without knowledge of the framework. And the key framework here is the IFRS. So kindly take note of that, okay? So that is it. So that's for the modular, very important program going into the next sitting. The good news is that in the coming sitting, we have some new books I would want to share with you. The first book is on strategic case study. Okay, so strategic case study, we have a manual for strategic case study for the new syllabus, but we've thought it wise to put together a revision kit for the first time. Is that okay? We had it in the old syllabus. We have a revision kit on strategic case study, which was for the 2019 to the 2024 syllabus. But for this new syllabus, we are releasing a new revision kit, question and answer for strategic case study. For you who is resitting this paper, I recommend this for you highly. Exactly. Obtain it, and I can tell you it will assist you, because I'll put in there some questions that come across the entire syllabus for you to practice as much as possible. And I'll encourage you to obtain a copy. So that's for strategic case study. We have also put something together for advanced audit, because for our advanced audit also, our book that we have currently is a manual, okay? It's a manual for advanced audit and assurance. We have also put together a revision kit for advanced audit and assurance. We've also done same for principles of tax. For principles of tax, we've never had a book for it. We normally will rely on lecture materials provided in class. But for the first time, we are about to release a revision kit for principles of tax. And that clearly would be very useful. For those of you who are writing principles of tax, I can tell you this is a non-negotiable. You obtain it, it can also assist your preparation. We are also going to release a book on management accounting. So also a revision kit for management accounting. So for those of you doing management accounting, in the old syllabus, I had a book on management accounting. We are revising that to reflect the new syllabus. So watch out for it also. A revision kit for those of you doing management accounting to assist with your practice. So these are not manuals, because once you join the lecture, there are relevant materials that will be shared. But if you need to practice more, you need some buffer of questions to practice, and this will give you the needed support. Is that okay? So these books are obviously introduced to you for the first time. We haven't put them out there, and they will be ready this April. Obviously, by the time we are done with the first 2 weeks in this month of April, we have got confirmation from the publishers that these books will be coming in within the month of April. So I would advise that you do your early order them now, so that once they are come, it's first come, first served. I remember when we had our new manuals from the start of the new syllabus, students underestimated the importance of them, and they actually didn't buy them on time, and they were actually rushing for them later. Please pre-order so that once we have taken delivery from the publishers, it will be first come, first served, so that you can assist your revision and do it well. Yes, we also have the earlier books that we have published. So we also have the earlier books we have already published, which is Advanced Audit and Assurance, Strategic Case Study, Corporate Reporting, Financial Reporting, and Public Sector Accounting and Finance. All these papers, I play a major role in delivering. So that is it. So that's for us. So at this point, maybe if you have questions, you can share with me. That can help drive the discussion. There are some people who have already put some questions across, and I would advise you can also do so. Just put your questions in the Q&A box. I will be reading it and be answering them at the same time. When I do that for 15 minutes, I will open the floor for you to ask your questions. I know there are some of our colleagues who have passed in the last sitting who want to share their testimony with us. When we open the phone lines, you can do so. We can also put it in the Q&A box to encourage somebody. Exactly. In the last sitting, we had 195 qualified students who have been admitted on our alumni platform. I repeat, 195 students qualified from our platform as chartered accountants from the list that was released by the institute, a list of about 380 something. We had about 195 students who have qualified through our platform. So that is incredible. And we have already added them to our alumni platform. And those students on the alumni platform, we have invited them to join this meeting and maybe share some testimony with you. And I'm sure some of them will be willing to do that. Is that okay? Somebody said, I resat SCS with you last sitting and I passed by God's grace. So that's the first comment by somebody. I'm sure he wants to share that as a testimony. Somebody also said, please, level 2 paper selection. So for level 2 paper selection, best combinations, you can combine management, accounting, and financial management. That's a good combination. ME and FM, good combination. You can also combine financial reporting and public sector accounting. Good combination. So the choice is yours. FR, PSA, or man accounting, financial management. FR and financial reporting, PSA, or management accounting and financial management. If you are starting the final level, level 2 for the first time, that could be a good combination, exactly. Or you could also try your advanced, audit and assurance, and then maybe financial reporting. If assuming you have financial reporting and audit and assurance are standing, you can start with that. Audit and assurance, financial reporting as a good start. Then you move on to your PSA and principles of tax. Then you go for your FM and then MA. Then we are moving to the final level. Exactly. So that's it. So it depends on the paper you have outstanding. Make a good choice. Exactly. Somebody says, what if you were in the 40s in the previous diet, but dropped to 34 in the past sitting? What would you suggest, main class or modular? You may still have to join the modular class if you had 40 and then the next sitting you drop to 34. And that normally happens when students take things for granted, especially when they get some 40. Oh, I'm in the 40s. Yeah, Charlie, this thing, I'm sure I can do it. Forgetting that you got the 40 with some level of seriousness, which was not even adequate. You see, you were very serious and got 40. Now you enter into another sitting and you think that, oh, you have knowledge, so you can just play around and get something extra. No, don't forget that you must double that effort that gave you the 40 to pass. Exactly. That is where a lot of students have challenges. They put in a lot of effort, get 45, thinking that, oh, they have built a buffer, which they can use to just add some few things and pass. Forget it. It doesn't work like that. This is professional exam. Whatever effort that gave you the 45, you need that effort plus extra commitment to be able to cross. So watch it. It can sometimes mislead. Some people mislead themselves into that belief that, oh, I've got some 40, I can just do something extra and get it. You deceive yourself. You calm down, and it will shock you. Somebody says, so what if, please, would you advise a student who has corporate reporting, advanced tax, and SCS to write all 3 papers? The student is resitting corporate reporting. Now, you see, the time is short. Like we had in the March diet. March is always the diet that has, in terms of the duration, very short. July, yes, have some small time extra because when you take the months that we have to write the July, most of them have 31 days. So it gives you more days, exactly. But to be frank, if you are combining 3 papers, the discipline level has to go high rise. You can write, like you are saying, corporate reporting, strategic case study, and advanced tasks with casual behaviors. No. You are writing 2 capstone papers, corporate reporting and strategic case study with advanced tasks. You need, even writing case study and corporate reporting requires a whole level of commitment for you to now add advanced tasks. You may panic. You may give yourself pressure. I hope you are getting a point. So if you are a working person, my main recommendation is that go for 2 papers. 3 papers, you have to check your discipline level. If you are going to write 3 papers, check yourself. Check yourself. You cannot write 3 papers with a casual behavior. No. Your lifestyle has to change completely to be able to pass this thing. So advise yourself before you go for 3. 2 is, yes, 2 will also change your life dramatically, but not so serious. But if you are going for 3 papers, it's like a shutdown to your life for the next 3 months. I'm telling you. If not, it won't happen. Is that okay? Somebody say, I will implore you to keep the necessary documents on the app for some time, at least for the next sitting. It's a humble opinion. Well noted. Is there registration for offline lesson this sitting? Yes, there's offline. There's offline. We normally have offline also. Why not? So that's where you register and have only videos without any interaction. So there will be no tuition for you. There will be no revision for you. You only depend on the videos of the previous sitting. So that's what we call the offline program. It's for those who wants to do self-study. Is that okay? So if you want to do self-study, no interaction with any lecturer, you can go for the offline, use your videos, engage it as much as possible, and prepare. And some students use the offline, and then they join the intervention to wrap up. Why not? Why not? Right. So somebody says, can the self-study join the IFRS class on Wednesday? So for IFRS, it's for those who are part of Modular and tuition. Is that okay? So the weekday, Wednesday IFRS class is for those who are part of our Modular and tuition program. Is that okay? Somebody says, earlier, I'm a resitter, but I registered for tuition. How can I be part of both tuition and Modular? Yes, there are students who normally ask for that option, that they want to be part of both tuition and Modular at the same time, especially when they have 1 paper to go. They want to do it and do it once and for all. I normally advise that. So yes, you can register for the 2, and I'll give you intervention for free. So if you are a student who have registered tuition and Modular for the same subject, you don't pay for intervention. You are sorted out. Is that clear? So why not? Somebody said, is it okay to combine PSA and MA? If those are the only 2 papers you have to write in level 2, you have no choice than to combine them. But if that is not the only 2 papers you have, if you have financial reporting in there, it's best to combine it with the PSA. But if you have already passed financial reporting and you are left with PSA and MA, you have no choice than to go for those 2. Is that clear? Right. So earlier, I have only FR left in level 2. Can I combine it with CR? Yes. So if you have financial reporting left in level 2, you have 2 options. You can combine it with advanced audit and assurance and combine it with corporate reporting. I must tell you that corporate reporting is cheaper than financial reporting. I repeat. Sorry. Yes, I repeat. Corporate reporting is cheaper than financial reporting. I repeat for the last time. Corporate reporting is cheaper than financial reporting. If you get your FR knowledge right, you can easily pass your corporate reporting. You just need to top up. So that's why I normally say that corporate reporting is cheaper than financial reporting. If you have passed financial reporting recently, you can easily pass corporate reporting very quickly. So it's very important to take that advice. But you that you haven't yet passed the FR and you want to go and add corporate reporting, I will advise you to humble yourself. Go for audit and assurance, advanced audit and assurance. Humble yourself. Go for advanced audit and assurance. You are going to use your knowledge in the IFRS to deal with issues in the advanced audit and assurance. So I'll advise that. Don't add the CR, rather add the advanced audit and assurance, because you haven't yet passed the FR. So if you want to add the CR, sometimes it can be very, very demanding. Exactly. So know yourself. You can still add a CR, but if you check it well and you know you cannot be able to map up the pressure, then rather add the advanced audit and assurance. Exactly. So somebody said, is there a book for PSA question and answer? Yes, as you can see it on the screen there, I have a book on public sector accounting and finance. It's a question and answer book, a very, very highly recommended book with a lot of questions to assist your revision. Exactly. Somebody say, can you study on your own as a resitter without attending lectures again and only join intervention? As I always say, that is a risk. That is a risk. Exactly. At least you can do offline. If you really don't want to be part of any tuition, please, at least the best you can do for yourself is to register for the offline, where you can engage the videos for revision purpose, whilst maybe practicing questions on your own. That is if you can have the discipline to do it and then join the intervention. But it's not easy. You see, these are not things that comes easily. The self-discipline doesn't come easily. Telling yourself every week I'm going to solve a question. You have your timetable, you have your plan put across on how many times in the week you can do that. Those are not things that easily work out well. So I'll recommend that at least put yourself on a program. It could be the modular or it could be the offline. The program will intentionally force you to be disciplined because every week you know you are solving a question. And before you meet in that session, you are already practicing something. You see, so that's why it's best to subject yourself to a program because it puts some burden on you that every week you are having some expectation of something that you have to participate in. So I normally wouldn't advise you to just stay away and then come for intervention. When you appear in intervention, some of the things will become so much like new to you and all because your revision wasn't sharp. Exactly. Right. So please, I have written CR. My marks have always been 39, 34, and 32. You've always been in the 30s. Exactly. So which could have been the problem? And which of the class models should I join? So if you are somebody in the 30s, consistently, like you are saying, for example, you are a student writing corporate reporting, 39, 34, 32. You have been in the 30s. Your problem is that you don't have, I can see your problem, you don't have speed. Corporate reporting is speed. So if you are in the 30s, it's a clear indication you don't have speed. Is that clear? Now, to top up your problem, you don't have a lot of practice revision. You are not exposed to so many questions. So when you see the issues, even though you have the knowledge, you can't apply. I hope you are getting the point. So that's sometimes the problems. Number one, for corporate reporting, speed is a determinant. If you want to pass corporate reporting, speed is what? A key determinant. Number two, exposing yourself to various questions and scenarios is a game changer. So I would advise you, you can join the modular program. And if that is the only paper you have, I would recommend you can combine the two, the tuition and the modular at the same time. It can give you some outcome. Is that okay? Somebody said, I had SCS last night. I passed and I'm now chartered accountant. Thank you for the feedback. What of those of us who have strategic case study and corporate reporting left to right? That's what I keep saying. Those of you who have strategic case study, corporate reporting, please, if you joke, you mark time and you'll give up. Because those two papers are already demanding. So my advice is that give it the best of shot as possible. If you don't mind, you can join tuition and modular. What it means is that it's going to give you about 6 lectures per week. I'm telling you, it will put pressure on you to align. Are we together? So please, that is it. Somebody said, I have advanced tasks and case study and corporate reporting. What's your best combination? So why not? You can take 2 out of them. You can take the advanced tasks and then corporate, or advanced tasks and strategic case study. Exactly. So you can pair the advanced tasks with any of the 2 and make sure you clear them so that your final paper will just be one of the 2 troublesome papers. Because if you don't get it right, and then you have those 2 troublesome papers as your last 2 papers, it can really be troublesome. So please be careful. So you see, somebody said I have case study and corporate reporting left. I had 35 and 41. Would you recommend revision class? Yes, I'll recommend the modular for you. So that is it. A lot of people in the system have corporate reporting and case study to go, and it's a trouble spot. I pray you don't get into that situation. Exactly. Those who get into that situation don't find it easy at all. Having to write strategic case study and corporate reporting is no joke. The two together is a lot of pressure. So pray you don't get into that situation. For those of you who are not writing, get your subject combination right and don't fall into that trap. It can really be frustrating. Exactly. Right. So you mentioned that the video of March will be available. Would March lecture note also be available? Yes. So if you are registering for Modular, all the lecture videos for March, all the lecture materials for March would be available. So please take note of that. Okay. Then somebody said, what would you advise someone who wrote case study twice and had the same mark? I don't know the mark, but you wrote it twice and had the same mark. It means you are not changing your strategy. Is that okay? So if you are somebody who wrote the paper twice and had the same mark, please list down all your learning strategies, all the things you did last sitting, okay, in order to prepare. List them down. Maybe you had group meetings or you were doing 2 hours per week. Put down some analysis of all the preparations you did for last sitting. That gave you the same mark of the previous sitting. Then based on those things you put down, please, you need to improve on them. There are some you need to put away, and there are some you need to add. I hope you are getting the point. So that is it. So if you are getting the same mark in 2 sittings, it means you have not changed your model. The way you approach things in the previous sitting is the same way you approach it in the concurrent sitting. So you need to make some changes. Exactly. Somebody say, can you combine masters with CA level 3? That's no joke. So if you are doing your masters and then you want to do ICA level 3, it's not easy. Why not? But you can try it. Is that okay? You can try it. Somebody said, hello, sir. Good evening to everyone. I just qualified this March sitting, writing CR and case study. I've been writing those papers since May 2021. Are you hearing the testimony? Good evening to everyone. I just qualified this March, writing CR and case study. I have been writing those papers since May 2021. I shut down outings, social gathering, this sitting, did more done learning. And I want you to keep up with the done classes because they are the best. Please, my fellow colleagues, so don't give up. You see, somebody is confessing here. He is left with CR and case study, and he has marked time from May 2021 to date. I can tell you that is the problem. Those who are hanging up in the system, who are not qualifying, if you ask them, they will tell you, I have CR and case study left. And it's because they have written other easier papers or other regular papers past and left the two bosom, the two gods, the demigods to attack at the end. It is not easy, right? It is trouble. It is trouble. Somebody said, can you write PSA and any level 3 paper? Yes, if that is the only paper left, you can write PSA and any of the level 3 papers. Is that okay? Please, would the IFRS on Wednesday be recorded? Yes, why not? We record it and share with you. So if you cannot join the Wednesday, the IFRS, which is free for all our students, you can get the recording in the mobile application. Is that okay? Somebody say, can you make part payment for 2 papers in case you want the online option? So for part payment now, we have an embargo. Salary has just been paid. For those of you who go and enjoy your salary and come back and ask for part payment, the bell has been rung. Better look for money and come and register. Part payment, we have an embargo on it. Is that okay? They just pay salary. I think I will now want to adopt the approach that is like put your money where your meat is. Is that okay? Give priority to it. If this is the professional qualification you desire, commit effort to it. So put where your money is, because some of you go and enjoy the money and can't be asking for part payment. And when they are even asking you to pay, then you are insulting the secretary. I don't know, but we have learned a lot of lessons. I don't want us to go back there. So for part payment, come for the November date. Okay, somebody say, can I do advanced audit and PSA? Why not? That's a good combination. I'm left with MA in level 2. Which other papers can I combine in level 3? So like I always advise, if you have MA in level 2, you cannot technically take a paper like advanced audit because auditing is written on the same day as MA. And you cannot also take corporate reporting because that's a difficult paper. Are you getting the point? So you may likely want to select advanced tax and strategic case study as a combination to the man accounting, which is the outstanding paper in level 2. Okay, right. So somebody says, I studied strategic case study with you much to the end, but I couldn't write the exam. I have all the PDFs, so I'm self-studying, and I intend to combine it with MS. What would you advise? So as I said, one of the best things is to go for your offline, get the videos to assist your revision, or join the modular. Exactly. But I wouldn't advise you to go off and go out of all the programs. At least select something. You can go for the offline or the modular. It can really help you. Is that okay? So somebody say, what is your advice for someone who has a high demanding jobs and kids? How can the studies be done? It's about priority. Is that okay? So you have a high demanding job, you have kids at home. The question is that you must make time. Is that okay? You must make time. The best time to study when you are in this situation is at dawn, because by then the kids are sleeping, right? Is that okay? The same way your boss gives you some responsibility that you stretch yourself into the night to finish it, the same way you should be able to stretch yourself into the night for your studies. Exactly. Because I remember when I was a finance manager, I could have my boss giving me a request and I could stay up into the night as far as 1 a.m. to finish it. If you can do that for your job, why can't you do that for your studies? So if your job is demanding, I don't think from Monday to Friday, you work into the night. No, no. There will be some leeway in there. Is that okay? So make time and fight into the night. Because for you that your job is demanding, the best is to either do the dawn or learn into the night before sleeping. So make that choice because by then the kids are sleeping. Is that okay? Right. Somebody said, I'm left with FM in level 2. Which level 3 paper can I add to it? If you're left with FM in level 2, why not? You can add. FM is written around Thursday. Is that not it? So why not? You can add audit and assurance and then maybe corporate reporting. Is that okay? Audit and corporate should be fine because those who come before the FM paper is written. So why not? Right. So somebody say, please, can I combine advanced tax with MA? Only papers left in level 2. So I think advanced tax is on Wednesday in terms of exams, and MA is on Tuesday. So that should not be a problem. Is that okay? That should not be a problem. So somebody said, my name is Eric and I passed last sitting. I started from level 1 and it hasn't been easy. I nearly gave up until a friend recommended Aspire to me. One thing I know is I have passed and I have the knowledge. Aspire lecturers prepare you for life and not just the exam. Just follow them diligently and you will make it. Big thanks to Sir Ellie, Kwame, and Derek. So you hear that feedback? That is something that should tell you something. Is that okay? So what's the cost per paper for offline? I think I'll have to get that for you, but the offline is cheaper than the modular. So I'm sure offline should be maybe 400 CD for level 2 and then 500 CD for level 3. So I'm sure that should be the fee for offline. Is that okay? Sir, any provision for part payment? Like I said, if you want part payment, join us for November 2025 date. Because as I said, salary has just been paid. So if you go and chop your salary and prepare your salary for Easter and think that you want to now pay in future, you can, when we are writing November, I'm sure by then we would have accepted the part payment arrangement, okay? Right, somebody said, please, I qualified in March. I've been writing CR. Solving the assignment or practice question provided by Sir Ellie did a good job for me. Please, practicing the trial question is important. This is from Abeku. Abeku is advising you people. So I have a lot of my alumni on the call. So alumni, if you are part of the meeting, please drop some shout outs to us so that I read it to your colleagues to motivate them. Is that okay? Somebody said, I have only CR to write. What do you advise? If you have CR to write, only CR, join the tuition and modular at the same time. it can change your life. I recommend that to you. Okay. Can I make part payment for 2? I want to do offline. As I said, if it's part payment, join us in the November sitting. Is that okay? As I indicated, salaries has just been paid. So look for money and come and join class because it's an online class. We don't have the patience to now be begging people to pay 500 C. You see, this is a lecture you are going to have for over 2 months. If you divide it per month, that is like 200 CD per month. You see, you are getting tuition, and the tuition fee is 200 CD per month. And you are telling me you want to pay later. You see, it's not worth it. So please, let's do the needful. We commit so much into doing this. So the only way is to pay fully and enjoy your lesson. Exactly. It's quite the best. Okay. So that we don't turn your lecturers into debt collectors. We want to focus and teach, not to be just chasing you for some small money, which at the end of the day, some people will even be insulting because they haven't paid. It's not the best. Exactly. So somebody said, I had 46 in case study. I'll join the modular, but why did ICA repeat topics? Is it a new way? Don't worry, when we meet, we'll discuss that. Somebody said, I had 46, which I failed with 46 PSA. Which can I add in part 3? So you can add audit and assurance in part 3. Why not? You can add it. Somebody said, my first CR attempt is November. I had 27. This March, I really prepared, but I had 37. Can I add case study this time? I was in SCS class, but did not write. So you hear the person, he wrote November, he had 27 for CR. He's gradually coming. Then he wrote again March, he had 37. He's coming. He said he learned, he prepared, but got 37. Now he wants to add another bosom to the main bosom. So that's two bosom together. So you can do it. But the only thing is that the way you say you really prepared, I'm sure it is your own preparation. Bring it, I'll show you whether you prepared or not. So it means that if you're coming to add case study to it, make sure your preparation is top-notch. It's high the roof. Is that okay? Right. Somebody said, please, which one will you recommend, modular or tuition? I had 24 in the first attempt and 44 in the second attempt. So I'll recommend modular. So for CR, I had 36 and 38. So for both, you can go for modular. So as I said, there are so many of our students in the system across the ICA fraternity who are struggling with corporate reporting and case study. It's a stopper. So if you are in level 2 and you are preparing, please get your subject combination right and don't get yourself into that trap. Like you heard from somebody, it held him since May 2021. I feel now waiting me, so be careful. Exactly. Right. So somebody said, I wrote FR last sitting and FA. I had 41, 42. I want to write, is it advisable? So go back and write those 2 papers again. If you have passed, because you haven't passed the FA, you haven't passed the FR, so go back and write those 2 papers again. Now that you are in the 40s, it can be easy for you to pass, okay? So just go back for those 2 papers and write it again. So please, for the offline, do we have new lecture or old lecture? So for the offline, you'll be getting the recent videos. That is the March 2025 videos to assist your revision, okay? Right, because those are the videos that you have already partaken of. So it will be very useful to use those videos for your revision. Exactly. So good evening. Last sitting, I took your advice of timing yourself and answering question. I took your advice and had 45. And that is the only paper left. So do you advise I join only modular or I should add the normal class? So if I would recommend put the 2 together. If you have strategic case study as your last paper or corporate reporting, please combine the 2. Join modular and join tuition. And you will see the level of pressure that you subject yourself to. And I can tell you it will yield the desired outcome. Okay. Right. So somebody said, how much is the offline? As I indicated, 400 for level 2 and then 500 for level 3, right? Good. So somebody said, I'm left with FR, MA, and what do you call it? FR, FM, and man accounting. What is the best combination? So for that, I will advise you to go for the FM and MA together. Leave the FR and deal with it later. So combine the FM and the man accounting and clear it. Then come for the FR later. Because there's a lot of convergence between FR and man account, FM and man accounting. Financial management and management accounting has some issues that relates to each other. So I'll recommend you combine them rather. Okay. Right. So will we get learning materials for offline option? Yes. If you are registered for offline, you get the videos and all the lecture materials. Just that you will not be allowed to join live lectures. Is that okay? Right. How much is a paper for offline? I think I've indicated that. Can I do PSA and advanced tax? I won't recommend that. PSA and audit and assurance or PSA and corporate reporting should be a good combination. But I'll recommend PSA and audit and assurance on any day. Okay. So PSA audit and advanced audit should be a good combination because public sector accounting is based on framework. Even for advanced audit, I'll be teaching you public sector auditing. So you need the knowledge in public sector, even for advanced auditing. Exactly. And public sector is based on framework. We are reviewing, we'll be preparing financial statement. And in the audit and assurance, we'll be reviewing financial statements. So the knowledge is clearly very much together. So PSA advanced audit should be a good combination. Right. So how much is a paper for level 2? For regular tuition is 599 for level 2, 699 for level 2, level 3, right? 599, 699, level 2, level 3 for regular tuition. For modular, as you can see on the screen. Good. Somebody said, I think I have to move to the, please, what's the difference between offline and the others? I think I've explained that. So for offline, it's purely access to videos and lecture materials, no access to direct lectures, okay? Right. So the questions are so many, so I would want to see if we can get some people who directly wants to ask a question, and then we can wrap up, okay? The rest, we cannot deal with them now. So anybody wants to ask a live question, let me pick about 2 of them or 3 of them, and then we can wrap up, okay? So we have Benjamin Andor. Benjamin.
Yeah, sir, can you hear me?
Yes, you are loud and clear.
Yeah, wait, I'm a resitter. I wanted to know how much do you pay for combining modular and offline, and later on, for the intervention, I know it's a separate thing,
Yeah,
but
so as I
offline
said,
and
as I said, you can combine modular and tuition. Okay. Now, when you combine modular and tuition, you don't pay for intervention. Is that okay?
okay.
Yeah. So when you combine modular and intervention, you don't pay. Sorry, modular and tuition,
Modular and tuition.
you don't pay for intervention. Is that okay?
So is it the separate fee combined, or there's a
Yes,
discount?
the 2 fees combined. Is that okay? Yeah, I know you
Okay.
laugh. There's no joke, right? Yeah, so take note of that, okay? But you can charge the secretary. I'm sure she can do something about it for you. Is that
Okay.
right? Thank you. So there's another hand up. There's Gloria. Gloria, any question for me?
Yes, sir. Please, good evening.
Good evening, Gloria.
In just the March sitting, I think I had 41 in the PSA. And then I
Okay.
wanted to find out if it's advisable for me to add the advanced audit, CR, and then PSA altogether.
Hey, this woman. So I would advise you to add just one. Since you
Oh,
have yet passed the PSA, just add one. Is that okay?
okay, sir.
Because this thing is not easy. You understand? So
Yes,
add one and let's see how it goes. Is that okay?
yes, sir.
If
Yes,
you
sir.
add the 2, you may rather increase your pressure.
Okay. Okay.
So
Thank you.
I'll recommend you add one. Okay, right.
Yes. Thank you.
Thank you, Gloria. Then we have Jerry. So Jerry, any question for me?
Hello, sir.
Yes, Jerry, go ahead.
Good evening.
Good evening.
Please, by the grace of God, I was able to clear the MA. In fact, I have written this MA only God knows the number of times. But when someone introduced me to Aspire on my second attempt, I had a very good mark in MA. So I'm now a qualified accountant. So I just want to thank you and also encourage my colleagues that no matter the time, they should continue. Don't. They should just get the past question almost every day. Make sure you solve the question almost every day after a topic. Thank you so much.
Thank you, Jerry, and congratulations for passing.
Thank you.
Thank you. I hope you are on our alumni page, right?
No, please, so add me.
So kindly chat me, I'll add you to the alumni page because we have had a webinar with member services. Okay, so you can watch the video so that you can go through the process of registration and for membership. Okay.
All right, thank you.
Right, thank you, Jerry. Then we have Francis. So Francis, if you can ask your question.
Yeah, good evening, sir.
Good evening, Francis.
Yes, I was thinking that if I paid for the tuition, I thought that would have covered for the modular as well.
Oh no, the modular is a separate program. Is that okay? What it means is that if you have registered for tuition and you are to join modular, it means you are going to have about 3 meetings per subject. Do you know that?
Oh, okay.
Because every week the tuition happens twice a week, right? For a particular subject. The modular is happening once a week. So if you add the tuition to the modular, it means that for a particular subject, you'll be meeting 3 times a week. And that puts pressure on you. Are you getting it?
Okay.
But the modular is to solve questions, purely questions. Is that okay? So when you are joining the modular, you are coming into practice. I will be giving you questions, you practice, and then we come to discuss it. Are you getting the point? So that brings in a whole...
I'll have to join that as well.
That's fine. That's fine. Thank you for your question, Francis. Then we have Nana Equia. Nana Equia, any questions for me? Nana Equia, your internet is slow. Right? How is the baby doing, Nana Equia?
The baby is fine, sir.
I can hear the baby crying. I hope you are fit now.
Yes.
So I hope to see you.
Yes, sir. Please, I'm fit.
I hope to see you very soon,
sir.
right? Good.
Yes, sir.
So you
sir,
don't
please,
worry.
is the class starting? I
So
should
we are
have chat to you. I wanted.
We are starting this Monday, okay? So even though it's a holiday, we are starting
This Monday, okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
So take note of that, okay? Yeah. So you chat me, I will give you some discount, okay?
Okay, sir.
Right. So
Okay, sir. Thank you very much. I'll
thank you,
chat.
Nanek. Yeah. Good. So we have another hand up.
Thank
Hannah.
you.
Right. Hannah, any question for me? Hannah's hand is up. Any question? Okay, Hannah, you have to connect with your audio. I'm sure you didn't connect with your audio, so kindly do that. So let me pick up some more few questions in the Q&A box, and then I'm sure we can wrap up on that. Okay, right. So somebody said, hello, I'm left with CR, case study, and auditing. I've written them twice. I registered for CR class. Is it advisable to study the audit and case study on my own and join intervention, considering my finances, right? So you can combine, at least if for nothing at all, I would recommend you combine. You see, if you're writing 3 papers, I didn't know the marks you had, but I would have wished you share your marks with me. But you could combine the corporate reporting and auditing. Is that because those are 2 papers that you should not be able to fail in the coming sitting. Looking at your preparation and also looking at the convergence between those 2 papers, I would recommend you go, at least if you are doing tuition for CR, you can do modular or offline for auditing. Is that clear? For case study, you can decide why not to hold on with that. Or maybe if you want to try try intervention, yes, but I would recommend focus on the CR and auditing and clear it. And then you are good to go. You have only 1 more paper to write. Is that clear? Right. Somebody say, my first attempt at final part. Please give me a good combination to start. So if you're starting final part, you can start with audit and corporate reporting or advanced task strategic case study. Auditing, advanced audit, corporate reporting. That's first combination. Then you can also go for advanced task strategic case study. If you are attempting the level 3 for the first time, I'll recommend that for you. Right. So somebody say, when are we starting lecture? So let me just go back to my slide and then finalize our discussions, and then we can close. Where is my PowerPoint? So I indicated our timelines there. I want to pick it up quickly, and then we can wrap up for the day. Good. So we have another meeting tomorrow. So that's our opening night. Tomorrow is our opening night where we can, we'll be finalizing our itinerary for the March diet. But let me share this with you since you have joined us. So our lectures will start 30th of March, which is Monday. Sorry, 31st of March, which is Monday. Tomorrow evening, we have our opening night where we have an engagement with all our students, prospective as well as existing students, and have an exchange or discussion before we start the tuition. But lectures start on 31st of March. Even though it's a holiday, we are kicking off. Modular starts 4th of April. So it means that almost immediately we are starting the modular. And tuition will come to an end second week in June. Far better than we had in the last or previous sitting. We are ending lectures very early before we start intervention on 25th. Exams will be starting on 7th of July. Exactly. So those are the timelines I want you to pay attention to, okay? Right. So somebody said, please, the regular the regular is on Saturday, and when for CR? I don't get the question. So the regular program is on Saturday, and when for CR? I don't think I've got the question. Somebody said, I have PSA in part 2, CR, audit, and case study in part 3. What will be the combination? So take your PSA and add your corporate reporting and auditing to it. Is that okay? Add your CR and auditing to your PSA to try it. Or you can pick up your PSA and your auditing, or your PSA and corporate reporting. Because the fear for you is that if you pick PSA and auditing and you pass, automatically you are left with the 2 troubles. That means you are going to be left with corporate reporting and case study, and that's a lot of trouble. Is that okay? So try as much as possible to avoid that pitfall. Having to be left with corporate reporting and case study is dangerous. Exactly. Right. So somebody said, when do we have CR? So in terms of our tuition, let me share that with you. In terms of our tuition program for, in terms of the timetable, let me just share that with you. The timetable for our regular tuition, so that maybe those who have not may not have seen our regular program could have that. So our regular tuition program for July, this is the timetable. If you're on any of our platform, this has been shared. So we have corporate reporting on Saturday and Thursday, strategic case studies on Sunday and Monday, advanced tax is on Saturday and Wednesday, and auditing is on Saturday and Tuesday. So for level 2, the same here. Management accounting is on Saturday and Tuesday. FR is on Saturday, Wednesday. PSA Saturday, Sunday, Monday. FM is Saturday and Thursday. Principles of tax is Sunday and Friday. Whilst advanced audit and assurance is on Sunday, 6 p.m. Is that okay? So that's the itinerary. So you could have a screenshot, or we can even, if you don't mind, we can share it to you directly. You can ask any of us, we'll send it to you so that you can have a look at it. So that's the timetable for the regular tuition. I believe it's clear. Right. So let me see if I have some final questions, and then we can wrap up. Somebody said, are they starting the online for level 2 this sitting? So for the so somebody said, are you sure the exam is starting on the 7th of July? Yes. Normally the exams are written from the first Monday which must fall in the following month. So under no circumstance will you write exams from June. So if you look at it, the first Monday is 30th of June. Then Tuesday is 1st of July. So normally the exams will be shifted to the next week. Is that okay? So the exams will be on 7th of July. I have confirmed that. So there's no problem with that. So exams will be on 7th of July. So please take note of that. Okay. Right. So somebody said, are they writing the online exams for level 2 this sitting? So online for level 2 exams for online exam for level 2 will start next year. Okay. The exams for level 2 will go online from next year. Okay. So please take note of that. Please, you mentioned that the July exam is on 7th. Yes, it will be on the 7th of July. Okay, so are you really sure of the 7th of July? Why do people keep asking me this question? Yeah, so I've confirmed that exams will be on the 7th of July for level 2 and level 3. For level 1, it may not be so, like we had in the last sitting. Is that okay? Right. So is modular joining regular tuition for standard this diet? Yes, as we have communicated, our regular and modular students will be joining me every Wednesday for lectures on IFRS. It's free, so please take note of that. Okay, so take note of that. Somebody said, I'm registering 3 strategic case studies, CR and FM. And the FM, whether modular or regular, is conflicting with level 2. Is that okay? So for your combination, it's not easy, Doris. Combining case study, CR, and FM is no joke at all. Is that okay? But let's see how it goes. You can chat me and then let me see what I can do for you. So you can find time and chat me. I will book an appointment so that we can have some counseling on that. Okay. So Doris, let us talk and see what I can do to assist. Okay. Right. So I think on that note, I will be ending today's meeting. We have another meeting tomorrow, which is our open night. You can bring some of your questions to bear tomorrow. I don't want to stretch this beyond 7:45. Is that okay? So if you have any questions, keep them tomorrow. You can ask. Is that okay? Benjamin, any question?
Yes, sir. I wanted to ask the results when they are released. They keep saying provisional. Does it mean that it's subject to change?
It's provisional because as far as the institute is concerned, maybe there could be any mistake. Is that okay? Is that okay? Because there are situations where maybe somebody's result may not be as has been posted there. So it's normally provisional. Awaiting maybe final results, if there could be any. Is that okay? So
for how long should we wait for the official one?
That's the official one. Whatever you have there is the official. But just that they are careful to put their provisional.
So have there been instances whereby something has changed before?
It's 0 point. It's less than 1% out of 10. Nothing has changed before. Is that okay?
Thank you.
Right. Thank you. So, colleagues, this is where I'll end it tonight. We'll meet again tomorrow. Is that okay? Where we can continue this discussion. Tomorrow is our opening night. Tomorrow evening, 6 p.m. We have another session. Exactly. Somebody said, is the modular session recorded? Yes, modular is recorded. So you can always have a playback of the video. Okay. Right. So thank you all for making the time to join us. I will see you again tomorrow evening where we shall have our opening night. On that note, wish you guys all the best. Bye-bye.